Incremental routines. Welcome to the series I'm doing, reacting to Piotr Wozniak videos. Today is the subset review with example of the history of Bitcoin. I haven't seen that in some years. I actually forgot most of this video. What I will do is that if something appears that I have mentioned before, I will skip it. So feel free, if you haven't done, to check the videos I have done already from him.
Reading an article that I don't fully understand. There's something about Bitcoin. A fork referring to blockchains defined verified. I don't get it. I'm thinking maybe I'll just go
What is a subset, by the way? I know he will explain it.
to the history of Bitcoin and review the whole chapter. I'll go to contents, and in the contents I'll choose learn to review the whole chapter. And I have some topic first. Satoshi.
Oh, that is inconvenient. He doesn't have this the stats window now. How do you know if you're in a subset review? Easy. Let's say I will load this one. Click on learn here or Control L. Now let me show the stats. And here's how you know. In the review, you have its own count. Memorized item, topics, and pending elements in the subset. And even the name. School Surprise the Learn Drive, Supermemo Guru, is the name of the topic, the branch that is acting like a branch. How do you know you have quit? Something that people have trouble is, shoot, how do I quit now the subset review? Press escape, skip again, then do any action, and it's asking you, hey, do you want to resume subset learning? Subset learning means subset review. Say no. And now the review here, it's just a dash, it's empty.
Satoshi Nakamoto is presumed to be a pseudonym for the person or people who designed the original Bitcoin protocol in 2008 and launched the network in 2009. That's interesting. I will extract this. Actually, maybe.
No, so basically he didn't set what is a subset review. So the subset review is to bypass your outstanding queue. So now, for instance, if I go to my outstanding, I have more than 21,000 elements. That's way too much. What I can do instead is, let me go just on the concept of, let's say, cognition. So if I open this to the browser now, that's what is there. So I will only get elements from here if I click here. And just for the example, I can do child and outstanding. So this is actually what I have outstanding from this subset. And then I can start reviewing from here. So if other outstanding elements outside of this subset are in the queue, they are ignored. I will only follow this subset. How is this useful? When you only want to focus on something specific because you really care, you need to understand something you're struggling with, you need to cram for an exam, whatever that may be.
Like a clause.
Close deletion.
Because, oh no.
Wait, now that I have this open, let me double check this. Close. Piotr always says class, like this, like an animal. It's close deletion. I'm impressed that himself, that he's been using close deletions for so long. I don't know if he invented this, but at least he invented the flow within incremental reading to generate close deletions. And he mispronounces close for class. Random fact that is okay, unexpected.
He launched the network 209. I remember 209 because that's the word network began. Okay, back to my topic.
So what happens that yes, you do the repetitions as if it was incremental reading session, but you have less interleaving. So you don't jump topics that now is chemistry, history, Bitcoin, language, Bitcoin again, medicine, history again, history of Bitcoin again, and so on. Now it will be history of Bitcoin, history of Bitcoin. In this case, because the subset is for this source, this article. If you start the subset by the concept group, like I did, cognition, I will get more articles, but most of the articles are about the same topic. This is also useful when you're tired, kind of tired in the evening. You still want to use Supermemo, incremental reading, but you want easy stuff. So you pick what you know it will be kind of easy. So it doesn't require a lot of thinking and cognitive load.
Quick. And I'll just proceed with the reading. Extract more portions. But later. It's on review Bitcoin. Add to outstanding. I can add the whole branch to outstanding.
Yeah.
And just make all those elements outstanding again. And I can learn the whole branch all over again. If this is done on items, it's not recommended. It's cramming. But
yeah, for items, it's not recommended because you will be cramming. Yes. You're doing unnecessary repetitions. That doesn't lead to an increase in long-term retention. This is useful, what he just did, to add elements to outstanding, because what happened, you have done the subset. This subset, let's see that you have finished the subset, is, yeah, now let me do one repetition more of the items I have did, the topics I have did, because I haven't finished those necessarily. So I still have this incremental approach. So let's say that I have something, so let's say that I have only read this. Oh, now let me have this outstanding again so I can repeat and read until here. Perhaps I will finish the round and I'll do a third round. So yes, it's a subset. I'm making an artificial selection of the sources of the outstanding queue, but I'm still going with the incremental flow.
I'm just reading. I'm reading. Take it. Ah, yeah, that's exciting. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. 3 items. Right. Therefore, I have Bitcoin. Everything has been reviewed today. I'll select items only. I'll add to outstanding.
No need for this. What happens that in Supermemo, the minimum interval is 1 day. So if you create the items today, you cannot see them today, the same day. The minimum will be tomorrow. And in his case, it's not even that. It's 2 days and next week for the other 2. So you can force that by either changing the interval to 1 day, so they will show up, they will be scheduled for tomorrow, or you can add to outstanding without modifying the interval. It's not the same action, by the way.
Okay. 3 items, 3.
And look at that, what happened now? Now all of the intervals is 1 day. How is that even possible? Because of one fine difference. Let me show that to you. Add to outstanding. This doesn't reschedule. It just adds to the queue and that's it. You will see it again, but it keeps the interval. But if you do this, add all to outstanding, so the only difference is all, is that it puts the elements in that standing and modifies whatever is required. The interval, next outstanding date, and some other metrics. Okay, so I did in a spread, so I have each a different interval. Cool. So look at the last rep, it's today, and the next rep, it's always the feature, but in a different day. Nice. So now I will do this, loading, add to outstanding. They are not outstanding because this is scheduled in the feature. Okay, something happened here. I don't know, I think it's not. No, the next rep is the same. Huh. Now let me try. Learning and add all to outstanding. All to outstanding. Ba-ba-ba-boom. Everything is one interval. That is a massive difference. If you want to mess up with the add to outstanding, add just to outstanding, not all. You may think that the difference with all is that you don't have to choose this every 5 elements or whatever. No, 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 no. It's not this. And this is massive. Imagine that you do this in a subset from a search and you have items that are several years old. You are resetting the intervals without even realizing. And even more than that, perhaps you will be an example that you do a huge, like for instance, Earth that I have here in my imports. So they haven't decided yet where to put it in concepts. And perhaps I will be resetting 700 items, and some of them with, look at the intervals, with 4,000 days, 3,000 days. And resetting this without realizing, perhaps I do a subset. I do, let's say 50 or 100 items. So most of what I did, I reset without realizing I have reset for nothing, because I will not do any repetition on them, and I will quit. Or next time I will reset the outstanding queue when the day after the day cut off at the next day. So I have done a massive damage to my collection without even realizing. And perhaps you won't realize this until much later in the future. So be really cautious. If you don't get it, just use this first option and you will be safe.
Conversions. And I can start learning. Nice. Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency. We done. Good. 201. And launched the NetApp for today. 09. Good.
Yeah, this is how you finish the subset review. It's telling you that, hey, there are no more elements. That's why you can actually repeat the subset if you want, do another subset of something different, go to outstanding date, whatever you want, because at the end of the day, you follow your rule and drive, so whatever you want. So nothing more to add here for this video. Hope this can be useful. Please don't do add all to outstanding, and see you incrementally.